Good evening! Good evening, good evening, good evening! Welcome to not the pirate thing that I totally had planned for this evening. You might have figured that out from my slightly snarky title, and slightly snarky Twitter post, and slightly snarky Discord post. Welcome! Welcome. Hi, Eleanor Long. Hi. Welcome to fishing. We're going fishing tonight. I'm going fishing until Sea of Thieves works. The plan for like several weeks now has been to stream Sea of Thieves today because Sea of Thieves... Sea of Thieves started, launched today, and I was planning to stream it. And it's taking me like... I tried to install it, wasn't having it. Took me like an hour to troubleshoot that. Then Windows installer is really, really slow. Say what you like about Steam, their games install really fast. So it took 2 hours thereabouts to install a game over Windows Store. And then... launched the game, cannot connect. This game does not appear to be available at the moment. Let's try this a couple more times. No, okay. Sea of Thieves Twitter. Oh yeah, we're not letting any new players in a minute. Are you kidding me? Alright, fishing. Let's go fishing. I'm salty. Which is appropriate, given the theme, but I am salty. Right. So, fishing. We are at a place that I didn't have to pay to get to, or not too much. This is just something I was messing around with this morning. I was just like, let me have my breakfast and go fishing. Like, I wasn't planning to, like, do any streams with this, but we are in Missouri. It's a very low-level area, but it can have some nice fish if you have the right equipment. I don't have the right equipment. I've left my right equipment at home. I've never really fished for good stuff with good equipment on this river before, and I didn't realize I could catch really good stuff. Turns out I can catch really good stuff. If your friend is streaming it right now, that's because he was already streaming it when they were letting players in. They've closed the door at this point. The official stance is no new players can play. Because it's taken me like 3 hours to get everything up and running, eventually by the time I've got round to this, which is also why my stream is like half an hour late today, by the way, I wanted to start streaming at 9. Had I got in at 9, I would probably be playing, but by the time it finished installing, it was like 9:15, and at that point they had closed the door and said, nope, no new players are allowed to come in until we've figured out what's going wrong here, because the servers are not liking what's happening here. Launch of an MMO, I guess. That happens with many MMOs. Name an MMO, I will show you a launch that didn't go great. Yeah, so I wanted to buy a license, I think. Let's take 1 day's worth of advanced license. All I want is 24 hours here. Because I got the equipment to catch really good fish here. It's just, in fact, I have caught a bunch of really good fish. I've caught some really rare fish that I'm not allowed to let go because they're not actually valuable, and I've caught some really rare fish that I couldn't actually keep because it was too much for me, because I didn't have the license as well. So the whole thing's conspiring here. I've learned my lesson several times to just buy the right bloody equipment, I think. Cut bait is good baits. Hooks. Oh, do we want to go with the big ones? Let's go with the big ones. I'm going to catch fish I can't keep, but let's try it anyway. Yeah, I have got the Sea of Thieves Twitter account open in another tab, so if I see a little 1 pop up next to it, I will know they have tweeted something, and I'm hoping that the thing that they have tweeted will be, hey, you're allowed to play our game now, at which point I'll set everything up. But at this moment in time, I'm just waiting on word that I'm actually allowed to play the bloody game that I've been waiting all my life to play. I mean, I've waited 30 years for this. I can wait a little bit longer, I suppose. But everybody else is capitalizing on the goodness and the wonderful pirates craze. So, I feel like I should be able to. Especially as I'm the original pirate live streamer. I'm not the original pirate live streamer. I don't know. Are there any other pirate live streamers? I don't know. There must be other people whose aesthetic in life is pirate, I suppose, but I don't know. How many of them are drinking rum? I don't know. I have not the answers to these questions. All I know is I poured myself a nice glass of very fine rum, thinking, Sea of Thieves and rum. The launch of an excellent game seems like a fine occasion to celebrate with good rum. Nope, not happening. Guess what? Sea of Thieves gets my advertising for the evening, I suppose. Let's do some high-quality simulated fishing. We going catfishing. Not catfishing in the pretending I'm a woman to bribe rich men into giving me all their money kind of for catfishing. That's an entirely different game. Though I bet someone out there has made a catfishing simulator. If they haven't, I'd be disappointed. Someone should. That should just be some stupid game jam project, I think, honestly. Some indie dev, one-man team, 24-hour project. You can make some stupid prototype of a catfishing simulator, right? Get on it. It'd be hilarious. So the problem with this job is that I'm fishing for big fish. So it might take a while for anything to bite. There was a twitch there. I may also have the line set a touch too long. The angle of the bobber suggests it's resting on the bottom there. But if something still wants to eat it, that's fine. I mean, catfish hang around the bottom. They don't seem to be too bothered about a bit of muddy, chopped up fish. I could put the shiners on if I wanted to attract really big ones. Again, sort of just messing around with what can I catch on this river. I put the biggest bait I have on the biggest hook I have and caught like some 11-kilo monster. And it's like, I can't keep this. I literally do not have access to equipment in the game good enough to keep an 11-kilo monster. That's fun though. Not quite as incredibly strenuous as catching those bloody leprechauns the other night. Man, who knew leprechauns were so hard to catch? They didn't want me to get their lucky charms. I'm glad all that nonsense is over. I don't want to accidentally just, like, grab leprechauns again. Oh, we are... Oh, the bobber's free of the reeds, I think. I've got a different bobber to the one I'd used before, and it's small and hard to see on the river. I presume it's that one. Got a dragonfly looking a bit confused. What's he doing? You gonna land? Get out of here. Nope, nope. He's loving the fishing rod. You can't even shake them. I expected them to be like really skittish. Like no, he's staying there. Oh boy. Alright. Let's try the shiners. This may just be a waste of my money, honestly. If I get something I can't keep, it's an expensive mistake, but... And also, I keep forgetting I've got that. M used to take you back to the map screen. It doesn't anymore. Let's go over to the other side of the river. This is called Catfish Paradise. There should be more catfish. It's broadly the same stretch of river, really, but we'll see. We'll see. I think it's a little bit deeper because I haven't adjusted the line at all, but the bobber's actually vertical now. So that's something. Still cannot see it. And also the sun god rays shining through the indicator of the bobber on the screen makes me antsy. It was flickering. I was like, oh, there's movement in the corner of my screen. Nope, nope, nothing biting. Nothing today. Not yet, anyway. We're going for the big ones. A 5, I've been told a 5/0 hook is how one pronounces that. And the biggest bait I can get. Let's see what we can bring in. I suppose all things considered, the practical alternative to streaming this is I maybe should have done World's Adrift because it's essentially the same genre and same concept, but the last 3 times either me or my associate have attempted to stream that game, it has gone badly. I don't much fancy getting pirated for the 4th time the day before I actually genuinely need the ship. I kind of want to just, like, leave it and keep it safe. At the same time, I did leave that ship a little awkwardly built. Sort of needs a little tinkering with before we actually take it to the grand finale of the game. Man, I'm getting nothing here. Whoa, that just flickered at the end. That was... seems as though something might have nibbled at it right at the end there. Very hard to tell, though. Yeah, it varies. I tend to stream fairly obscure things, and yeah, I'm not a big streamer to begin with in the first place. I'm a little guy, and yeah, I do tend to play things like, oh hey, fishing simulators. So you know, it's not kind of crazy packed in my chat, honestly. World's Adrift is mildly popular. Slime Rancher is mildly popular. And when I played Danganronpa, 1 or 2 people usually turned out to watch that. That was sort of popular. But I do play some... I've got a pretty terrible taste in games, I think, really, is just what it comes down to. I don't jump on all the biggest and newest and hottest things, with the Sea of Thieves notwithstanding, simply because it's the game I've waited all my life for. It's the game I've, you know, wished somebody would make forever, and then somebody finally made it, and now I can't play it. And yeah, I constantly get people like, why don't you play this game? Why don't you play this game? This game is popular. Why don't you play this game? It's like, because it's popular. It's firstly, if one wants to play because it's popular, for it to work as a streaming game, you kind of need to be popular yourself, otherwise you're just lost in the noise. Which is why the general advice to anybody making videos or streaming as a small channel, the advice is usually play indie things or niche things and, you know, carve out a niche for yourself. Doing something unique. Because if you play Minecraft, nobody's going to notice you. If you play... Subnautica is the one everybody always tells me to play. If you play Subnautica, nope, no. There's a lot of people out there doing Subnautica. Overwatch, I've had a lot of people ask for Overwatch. Firstly, Overwatch doesn't actually particularly interest me all that much. Battleborn was better, by the way. And yeah, again, a lot of noise on that score. Fishing Planet. Do you know how many people are streaming Fishing Planets on the average night? I can tell you for a fact it's not a lot of people. Of course, the obvious corollary to that is that how many people are searching for Fishing Planet streams on the average night? It's not a lot. Ooh, yes, 30 Flights of Loving. I have heard of that. I have played... I think I played it on the channel a very, very long time ago. It is a very good game. I don't think I ever actually played Gravity Bone, though, and I don't know why I didn't, because I totally should have done. 30 Flights of Loving, yeah, it was great. Good game, that one. There was somebody who I became friends with very early on streaming. He played it, and I thought it looked great, and I can't for the life of me remember if I played it off the back of that, or if I just played it for my own devices. It may be somewhere deep, deep lost in the archives of videos I'd made on YouTube somewhere. But you'd be going like... Probably 4.5 years back to find that, I would reckon. I've been doing this 5 and a bit years, so it'll be a good 4.5 years at the very least. Because the guy I saw play it, he quit YouTube a long time ago. He got a life. I didn't. I'm still here doing this. I don't mind small, quiet chats though. It's like, as long as I got somebody to chat to, shoot the breeze with, it's fine. When you've got like a rowdy rabble crowd, it's like I don't know. I don't feel like I'm communicating with you anymore. With a small group, it's friendlier, it's closer. It's like I can actually chat to people. If you've got like 20 people in there, and while we're keeping score, most people I ever got watching Slime Rancher was 25 people. It was like, at that point, I was like, I can't really keep up with chat to any great extent. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things. A lot of it's not really useful to anything, so I'm not really making any... There's not necessarily any meaningful communication going on between me and any members of the chat at that stage. So I imagine it only gets worse from there on out, and that's at 25 people. I'm like, ugh, this is noisy. By the time you're getting hundreds, nay, thousands of people watching you at a time, it's like, eesh. I guess there'll be a few voices that stand out. There'll be regulars. You would get to know people, I suppose, but it's made a lot more difficult by just the sheer virtue of the amount of noise. And I guess YouTube's attempt to fix that is by implementing what they call top chat. But there's no real indicator as to what they deem worthwhile getting past their filter to go into top chat. So even if there's only one person talking, it can just be like, no, the quality is not good enough of this chat. You don't need to see these things, and you end up with no chat. So that needs some work, that system. Top chat, I can see why they feel it's a necessary inclusion. If you've got 1,000 people all trying to talk to you at once, some sort of quality filter is necessary. If you have 1 or 2 people trying to talk to you, you probably don't need to, like, assess them on their merits. Yes, I know the Discord feeling as well. I mean, I don't really mod any unless you count my own, which, to say I mod it is a generous term. I own it. I don't really do a lot to it, but hey, there's not a lot to do. But yeah, big Discord groups. I've joined stuff for like games or other streamers or stuff, and they've got hundreds or thousands of people in there, and most of them are, to put it generously, just shit posting most of the time. So it's just like, ugh, I just end up leaving most of those because I'm like, I can't keep up. There's a lot of people saying a lot of stuff I don't care about. It's hard to figure out what's worthwhile in there anyway. So I just end up leaving. The biggest Discord I've remained a member of, and I still don't like using it, is my local city's Pokemon Go Discord. And even then, there's a lot of people organizing a lot of stuff. And then sometimes they'll organize things but don't talk about it in the Discord, and so you get left out of stuff, and I don't even know how they organize things. My local town's group is just it's small enough for it all to be coordinated through Facebook, so we don't need Discord for it, and it's like, it's a lot more closer knit, it's comfortable, everybody knows each other, it's the same group, same faces show up to do content at the same times, and yeah, just a big Discord for it all just ends up being and messy. And of course people are like paying for bot services, and there's always this weird kind of feeling at the back of your mind. It's like, so am I supposed to be obligated to be paying to help run this or something? I feel like because I haven't donated money to the cause here, I'm like leeching the services or something. So in the end I don't really bother with that either. Do you own that Discord then? Could you not, like, is there not scope for you to, like, if you know, if it's a sizable community and you know everyone, surely then at that point there's some scope to say, hey, you're a reliable, long-standing member of the community, we need more mods to save you, like, being up until silly o'clock every day, dealing with people's drama. See, that's too much for me. It's just the idea of like, oh, I've got to stay up all night to deal with other people's drama. It's like, oh, that sounds so exhausting. Don't get me wrong, I like myself a bit of internet drama, but I do not want to have to be the person who steps in and intervenes with anything. I'd much rather be sitting on Twitter with a bucket of popcorn gifs. I am not catching any fish for this. I was earlier. I swear to God, this tackle. This caught me the biggest fish I ever goddamn caught in this game that wasn't part of an event, and I couldn't keep it. It was so big, and now everything has gone wrong forever. All right, let's aim for something a mite smaller. Ah, racist morons. That's why the internet needs the ability to punch people virtually. Don't think I've ever personally had the issue of racist morons come up for me yet. Some people with mildly objectionable opinions, certainly, but not outright overtly racist. I mean, for me, that's kind of like, that's a zero tolerance issue. It's like, you post anything like that anywhere near any of my community, you're just gonna get banned, though. I don't have time for it. I don't want to have time for it. Anybody's racist can get out. I kind of have a related anecdote that I was kind of wanting to segue into there, but for the sake of names and people and identifiability and stuff, I was like, I don't think it's worth going there. I want to be like, hey, I once knew this guy and he was an interesting character, and it's like, no. Never mind, never mind. See, Tulka's had this one guy in his Discord that he put up with for far too long and engaged him for far too long. I mean, I think they resolved things semi-amicably, but you know, after doing that for several hours, I don't think I would have had the patience he did. If you're pushing boundaries to be edgy or whatnot, great, go push him somewhere else. My time on this planet is limited, and I don't want to have to spend it dealing with people's boundary pushings. Go be an edgelord in your parents' basement somewhere else. Getting a couple nibbles on this tackle, but, like, no bites. This is distressing. Why am I not catching any damn fish this evening? I bought an advanced license and everything, and I'm gonna end up leaving here without any money. The alternative option is I could head further down the river and go for pike, but I'm all set up for catfishing. They do not want to play, no. Alright, fine. Pike it is. I don't know where all the catfish have gone. Do catfish just disappear mid-morning or something? Fish species. Bowfins are in that grassy patch. I know they are. Oh, they come out to the shallows at night. Okay. They're more of a night fish. Catfish. Nocturnal. That would explain a lot of it. That would, yep. All the fish that hang around this bit of the river are nocturnal. That would explain why I'm not catching a dang thing. Why is it not working? Oh, Sea of Thieves? I thought you were asking about fishing there. I was like, oh yeah, the whole Sea of Thieves thing. Probably because too many people are trying to play at once. There's the usual story with the launch of any MMO. Sea of Thieves has had a lot of hype behind it. It's said to be a pretty popular thing. A lot of people are interested, and it's an MMO, so everybody's playing on the same server, and I imagine there's a lot of people running around Rare right now with fire extinguishers. So same old story of any MMO launch. I don't know why I thought it would be a reasonable and smooth and elegant launch. No big MMO ever went smoothly. What am I fishing with? Spoons! Spoons, where's my spoons at? I've got a... What can I put on this one? Lure 20 to 50. Oh geez, I have to use the big lures on this, right. Alright, let's see how this goes. Do I have my... I got the other rod that puts light. Okay, I've got a different rod. Okay, that's cool. I've got a good setup here. It's alright. This might work. Although my cast distance is surprisingly short. Oh, that's because that's the light rod. There we go. Okay, so we can get right into the reeds. Let's see if this does any better. Same time, it's a relatively large bait and hook there, so I'm not going to expect a lot of major hits on this. Also, I can't remember. I'm not super. I don't entirely remember what techniques work good on pike or pickerel at any rate. I think over in that grass, where the bigger ones lurk, I think. Then let's try this. It's not a bite, that's a snag. Dang it. I don't think it had. Let me check their Twitter again. Let's see if they posted anything. Anything new. Well, there are 1,300 comments on the thing that says, oh, yeah, you can't get into the game now. With a lot of people hitting F5 on the title screen. That's probably not going to help. A lot of people whinging that the scale testing didn't really test the scale as well as they'd hoped, apparently. Yep, okay. Lot of angry entitled people. Welcome to the internet. I mean, I could join them and sit on the title screen hitting F5, but I'm not sure that would help. I mean, they've said they're not letting new players in. I guess if it's closed, it's closed, it's closed, right? If they're not letting new players in, you're not going to get in no matter how many times you mash the button. I guess eventually, sooner or later, they have to open the doors again and let the players in, but yeah. I got better things to do with my evening. Like attempting futilely to fish. Okay, I need something I know works. I can see the fish over there, they're jumping. They're probably not pickerel that's jumping, but I can see something jumping. I need rod number 3. Nano spinner's no good. Nano spinner's for trout. Is it for trout? Yeah, it was for trout, wasn't it? I need a lucky purple. Good old lucky purple. Never steered me wrong. Let's see how this goes. It's kind of super basic equipment, but if I can actually get some fish with it, I'll be a lot happier. Instead of sitting here for hours on end desperately trying to catch big fish and not managing it. If I can catch a few sort of medium-sized fish, that would be a better experience. Can't remember if twitching is the right technique or if I just want to do a straight retrieve though. I always end up like this. I get to a point where I'm like, oh, I know how to deal with this particular body of water. I've got this sorted. And then I can't catch anything for hours on end. Right, let's just do a straight retrieve and see how this goes. That is a fish. That is a very small fish. I think I need to up the tension on my line. What we got? Grass pickerel. It's worth about as much as the catfish I was catching further upstream, with a noteworthy difference that it is about 1/5 of the weight of it, so I can catch 5 times more of them before I have to leave the river. Hey! Lucky purple, what'd I tell you? Okay, this one's a good one as well. This one's putting up a fight. Hello, hello. This one wants a Barney. Well, if that's what he wants, he's gonna get it. You ain't no leprechaun. Get in my basket. 101 coins. Hello. That's much better. Loving it. What I need is a much larger lucky purple narrow spoon, because This lure has done me pretty good in a lot of circumstances with a lot of fish. But I don't think there is. I think 7 grams is as big as you get with that particular style of narrow spoon. There's obviously I've got the iridescent green one that's bigger, but I don't recall much with that. I guess maybe a bit more patience and waiting for bigger fish might get me something, but hey. Was that a bite? It felt like the line moved then. Not sure what the deal was there. I still kind of want to try my luck with going back to the green one now. Now that I know things are here and that they are biting. Ugh. Okay. Oh, wait, I've just got 2 rods with 2 different setups now, haven't I? I don't even need to swap the baits out. That's fine. Right. Slow, straight retrieve. Apparently that's how you get pickerel. Which is easy because it's the laziest one. Just sit and click until a fish bites. Nope, that is not a bite. That's a snag. On the UI, at first very casual glance, they look very similar. And so it's like, I got a thing! No, I didn't. No, never mind. Alright, let's try over here. That was too far. And we're snagged. And I finished my glass of rum, just in case anyone was keeping score on that one. Why is the rum gone? Do I have to quote that? I have to quote that when my rum is finished, right? I know why the rum's gone, I drank it all. Getting reasonably tempted to just call... Just write this evening off as a bad job. Just call it an experience and go do something else with my life than not catching fish and not sailing ships. This has been a way more uneventful evening than I'd possibly imagined it could possibly be. Tech support notwithstanding, tech support, an hour of tech support is always an exhilarating experience. Alrighty, fine. Back to the small lure, the big one's not doing me any good. Lucky purple. That tells you lucky purple. Or not. Or not. Could try float fishing over in... Can you catch pike with float fishing? Because there's a big old patch of reeds there. I bet pike would lurk in there. Alright. Change of strategies for the squillionth time. What does a pike eat? Grass pickerel, small minnows, large minnows. If I don't think I have those on me. Chain pickerel, small minnows, large minnows, shiners. Okay. Okay. We can make that work. We got some shiners. We're gonna go with shiners. We're gonna make it worth our while, though. Let's try this. Don't know how far I want to cast. I mean, I kind of wonder what this whole patch of weeds here is going to do for us. We might be able to do something there. It's not very far out. Whether that makes a difference or not, I don't know. Let's try it. Let's try it. Welcome back. I guess that's not going anywhere because I think that's just stuck on the bottom. A pike known to go for fish that are just being dragged through the mud at the bottom of the river. I have a feeling maybe they don't. Jason, hey, what's happening here is I'm attempting to kill time until Sea of Thieves works, because it's launch night for an MMO, which means it doesn't work, obviously. Like, I stream Tuesdays, and I was like, well, I need to stream something. The plan for weeks has been to stream Sea of Thieves, and now they're not letting anyone into the game at the moment. So, fishing. Fishing is the closest alternative I've got to Sea of Thieves. They both involve water. There are many, many more closer alternatives I could have gone with, I think, but... Hey-oh, never mind. Now, did I just get a nibble? Is that a nibble? Is something nibbling? Yeah, that's a nibble. Okay, we got interest, This could be the chain pickerel of the century. I'm not sure who the question is directed at. Is that directed at Eleanor or me? We're all friends here. We're all just fishing buddies. Cracking open a couple bevies and reeling in a few fish. Just fishing buddies. This is not working. I think it's still too shallow, I think. Or too deep, that's the one. Are we 90? Let's try 90. That looks better. Oh, cool. Well, thank you for returning. Is that to say you're someone who subscribed for mayhaps Spiral Nights? Not for any specific reason other than I get that a lot. Because I've had more than a few people stop by and been like, hey, I used to watch you when you did Spiral Nights. Hi. It's like, okay, great, cool, hi. Seems like a lot of people like stayed subscribed but never watched anything after I stopped doing Spiral Nights, and then when I've started live streaming, occasionally I guess it'll pop up in their notifications. They'll be like, oh yeah, that channel, I remember they exist. I fear I could be aiming too high with this. I don't know how big Chain Pick will get. This might just be like way too ambitious here. I've got my monster fishing tackle set up here, and the best I can hope for is big. Some people love certain games. Is that directed at something in particular specifically? Because yes, that is true, but I mean, yeah, that was definitely true of Spiral Nights if it's in relation to the former comment. But you know what? I have met some people who really love Fishing Planet. Okay, I've met one guy who really loved Fishing Planet. He gave me a lot of pointers. I've taken very few of them to heart, it seems. Oh dang! Dude, was there something interested there? I think there might have been. I just wanted to swap out for something that's a little more lightweight. I mean, Weirta, my community moderator, she directed me towards another fishing game from, I guess, Finland that was entirely about ice fishing, and the game's like probably like 20 years old or something stupid, something close to that. And it has apparently it has a highly active community and has been, you know, updated and maintained throughout the years. And yeah, this ice fishing simulator is still a thing, and it's still around, and people still play it, and that's kind of weird. Oh, this game. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When I'm not getting frustrated that I can't catch anything, a la now, this game is, I don't know, just really fantastically chilled out. I just really like how chill this game is. I have no interest in real life in fishing whatsoever, really. But like, for some reason, I can very, very easily just lose a few hours just catching fish. Nothing else. Like, let me just go and get some bass or trout or whatever the flavor of the day is. I'm not rightly convinced there's a huge niche for fishing games on YouTube, but you know what? Oh, hey, there we go. There's a thing. I'd still be willing to bet there is one. What the heck have we got there? A largemouth bass? That's a great fish to get. Okay, I'll keep that. Okay, I didn't realize we were going bass fishing today. Oh, that changes things. That's where you get bass. Oh, cool. Bass don't need to eat the biggest bait I have. Then bass eat grasshoppers. Let's go with that. Okay. Hello. This works. Let's try this. Aside from the snags. Dang it. Okay, I mean, maybe I can go further out. If we're going for bass, I don't have to be like looking in the weeds for bass. If the sort of the open water between the weeds and the far shore has bass in it, then this changes the story somewhat. Let's go bass fishing. Hey, this is looking more successful. If I can consistently catch largemouth bass around here, that is a profit fish. That's a fish that you can take home at the end of the day and say, hey, I didn't lose money on this trip. Bite the hook already. No one ever tell you not to play with your food. Evidently not. Now that I know there's largemouth bass there, also tempted to go for the big hook and just try and bring in trophies. Changing up something that works is always kind of a mistake, though. Always ends up not working out. Still interest. Still interest, but no bites. I wonder if this whole sort of pool situation at the end of the river here, I wonder if that's just the bass fishing spot. That could be it. Or not, since they've all buggered off. Nope. There's nothing around there. Where does this river even go anyway? Oh, it kind of curves around the corner here. So I guess it goes round that way. Can we see it? Nope. Alright, try again. That was a bass. That was probably a bass. That might have been a bass. It's definitely a fish, I can tell you that much. I suppose while I'm here I can make my annual pilgrimage over to the Sea of Thieves Twitter account. Let's see how many angry people are complaining right now. Oh, nope, that's the thing. Nope, yep, that is definitely a good way to make fish bite. Get distracted. I'm gonna have to use that technique. That is pro strats right there. That's so good. I'm gonna have to add that to the Fishing Planet wiki. It's like, The best way to ensure that you're definitely going to get a bite is to tab out of the game and go start browsing someone's Twitter feed. This ensures a trophy catch every single time. What have we got? What have we got? That looks good. Da 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 da. It's a 2.5 kilo bowfin that's worth almost nothing. Ugh. I will keep it because it's kind of cool, but that's. We'll just see how that stacks up against the existing ones. Ooh, I wasn't quite. It was very close to being big enough to be a trophy bowfin, but it was not quite. It was 97. The chain pickerel I got was worth 101. It was half the weight. Half the weight? What am I talking about? 1/5 of the weight. So worth more, and 1/5 of the weight. Brilliant. Largemouth bass was 40% of the weight, worth 50% more. Yeah, those are better money fish. I'll take them though. At the end of the day, I can carry 25 kilos worth of fish, and I'm not particularly close to that yet, so we'll deal with profiteering if I ever get close to filling that up. Right, so Sea of Thieves, currently up to 2,200 angry comments, 500 angry retweets, 2,300 angry likes, and no further official response, unfortunately. Nothing new to speak of. Tempted to pour myself some more rum. That seems like a really good way to get a fish to bite. Alright. Just had to give you the sound effects on that one. That seems like a really good way to get fish to bite. Carry expensive rum in your hands and carefully pour it out whilst the fish is striking. Yep. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Where's my bobber? I can't even see where my bobber is right now. Oh, there it is. Drinking St. Lucia 1931 5th edition, for those wondering which bottle might make such a wonderful sound effect. It is... It set me back a little more than, and doesn't taste quite as good as the 4th edition, unfortunately, but still a very good rum. But if someone offers you either the 4th or the 5th edition, you take the 4th. No, wait, no, oh, hang on, no, this is a 6th edition. Sorry, I don't have the 5th edition. 5th edition is the same price, and I have tried it, but I can't remember whether it was any good. Well, I imagine it would be good. I can't remember how good, though. So 4th versus 6th, 4th wins. 4th is obviously a couple of years old now, and it's rarer and more expensive, so the 6th is probably actually the cheaper at this point. Okay, we're out of bass territory. Jeez, this thing flies, huh? I don't recall any of my other rods doing that. I was like, as soon as I just go whoop and bring it in, it just damn near hits me in the face. That'd be a good game mechanic, wouldn't it? Just get beamed in the face by your own bobber. Temporarily knocked out, you just lose half an hour. Wake up and carry on fishing. There's plenty of interest and no bites over there. What can I do to make you love me? All I want are your love bites. Don't quote that one out of context. Even in context, it was pretty weird. I blame the rum. I'll keep going a little while longer, but if the situation doesn't change soonish, I'm probably just going to have to call it for the evening, because all things considered, if I do start streaming Sea of Thieves, I'm not going to have much time to stream much Sea of Thieves. So I might just have to chalk this one up to experience. I'm trying to think of a good alliteration for Wednesday. Don't know. Sailing Wednesday. Do Sailing Wednesday with Tulkas tomorrow. Because Worlds Adrift said Worlds Adrift Wednesday. There we go. Why did I not think of that? Well, Worlds Adrift Wednesday tomorrow, and we'll do a fancy parade, and then get blown out of the skies in PvP, or the other way around. Could be both. I don't know. Not entirely sure at this stage. And revisit Sea of Thieves on Thursday when hopefully everything works. That'd be a good plan. Donald, hi. Fishing is going okay to poorly. The fish are not biting and the boats are not sailing. All in all, this evening has been a little bit of a bust, but hey. I got a good bass, and I was like, "Hey, great! I know where to get bass and how to get bass now." And I've been unable to repeat that feat, so I don't know necessarily where to and how to get bass. I'm just hoping I know. I got a really big bite after that, and I was like, "This is great! This is going to be the biggest bass of my life." Turned out it was a bowfin, and they're worthless. So that's that. Tried to go catfishing, but hadn't read the description of that, and turns out catfish are pretty much nocturnal, so we're almost at midday here. Can't go catfishing at midday, doesn't work. But at least that one was my own dumb fault for not reading it, not just blind bad luck. If nothing else, I have some tasty rum to console me. It's supposed to be celebratory rum to enjoy a pirate game that launched after many long years of anticipation. A game I wasted my whole life for. Instead, I'm drinking it in commisery or something. There is a fantastic quote attributed variously to either Napoleon or Winston Churchill, which is, and it could frankly be either of them, but It's champagne. In victory, you deserve it. In defeat, you need it. I feel like the same could be said of rum. Or really any drink that you hold in high regard as a good experience. There are definitely some beers that could be opened in celebration, or in commiseration as well. Whiskies, no doubt. Don't think I would ever go for vodka, but I can imagine maybe there are people out there who'd be like, yes, this is a celebration vodka. I think those people might be Russian, though. There are even some very fine tequilas, and I imagine in the right company, a celebration tequila could be just the tickets. Bourbon, yep. I shall be on the hunt for a good bourbon when I'm over in America in a couple of weeks. I do like to bring back a couple bottles of something I can't get anywhere else when I'm over in the States. So, stop off at the Sam Adams Brewery is always a must. They do some very, very good exclusive beers that you can't get anywhere else outside of like the brewery shop. Or maybe the local area. You sure as hell can't get them internationally anyway. So those are always fun to bring back. Those are some very good beers. And yeah, got a bottle of High West whiskey I've never seen sold in the UK as well last year. That's a good one. Would also be mildly interested to pick up an interesting bottle of mezcal this year. Just on the basis that, like, not many of those get imported into the UK. And... what? There was something biting? What? And the few I have tried have been actually quite good. That's quite an interesting drink. And I think, well, I imagine being adjacent to Mexico, you should be able to get more of those in the US than the UK. Pisco too. Pisco's also an interesting one as well. I'm sorry, you've got me started. I'm just drinks nerding now. But yep, that's Peru. Peru can get their stuff to America easy, and they get their stuff to the UK. So I don't know. I'm just gonna come back. I'm gonna come back clinking from the US. This is to say nothing of the fact that there's a insane ton of Slime Rancher merch I want to pick up at all the various merch booths at PAX, and if Microsoft has a presence, I would be very surprised if they weren't pushing Sea of Thieves like crazy, and I want a bunch of Sea of Thieves merch. Man, this is going to be an expensive few days for me. Also, I happened to see an article earlier today recommending a bunch of US-based rum products, and there are a few fairly decent sound ones at quite reasonable prices in the Massachusetts area. And oh boy, I'm going to Massachusetts. Okay, so they should be pretty easy to pick up, right? Let's get some nice rum as well. I don't know what I want. I won't bring back more than a couple bottles. I'm not the sort of person who will come back clinking, but at the same time, I don't know what I want. I swear to God I'm not an alcoholic, I just like tasty things. I have got so many bottles, and most of them are not open. To hear me talk about it, everyone will be like, "Oh my god, are you just boozing every night?" I'm like, no, I don't. It's like, actually, my problem is that I've just got lots of bottles that are like 80% full and nowhere to put them all. I need a proper ass drinks cabinet, and also to invite some friends out to come over and drink a lot of it at some point to clear it out. Well, thank you very much. It's PAX, it's always fun, so I'm sure it'll be good. My only concern is that we are expecting like a third, within like the span of a month, massive snow flurry on Easter weekend, which is when I fly out. So there is a small but real chance that my flight could be cancelled, and I don't know what the I don't know what the consequence of that will be. Nothing good. Best case scenario, I would just be there late. Because PAX in 2000 and... which one was it? 2015 or 16? I don't know. The Northeast America got hit by like all the snow in existence in 2015, 16. Oh, I looked at that. I was looking at stream and I saw the tension go up and I was like, oh no, that's my cast meter, and I just like struck because I thought something a bit. No, yeah. I've definitely had more than 2 drinks this year. I do drink more than that, but like I have like a couple drinks a week. If I go out with, I sometimes go out with friends on a Friday and have a few beers, but it's rarely to the point of excess. Times when I get drunk is they're not common. So I just hoard way too many different drinks. That's the problem. So where was I? Oh yeah, when I went out 2006, I think it was 16, was what they called Snowmageddon, and yeah, connecting flight from Philadelphia to Boston got cancelled, so they put us up in a hotel there overnight, and I guess just in all the panic and freak out and getting relocated and situated and whatnot, totally forgot to actually contact the place we're staying in Boston and be like, hey guys, we're not going to be able to check in today because our flight has been cancelled. So they were just like, and okay, we'll charge you the money. We'll charge you money and give your room to someone else. So that was fun. We did get it sorted out in the end. We got lucky that space was still available, but that one might easily have gone a lot worse. Yeah, I understand it's all about safety and that. Yeah, I know, but just like I mean, if I got to travel all the way out at like the crack of dawn to get my flight, and I do, I'm not sure what the protocol is at that point. It's like if they turn around and say, all right, well your flight's cancelled, it's like, well, what now? Do I have to like pay for another train ticket to traipse all the way home now, or what on earth actually is the deal here? Or do I pay to stay somewhere on the other side of the country, somewhere near the actual plane? I presume it would be the same deal as we would have had in Philadelphia. They would, by law, I guess, have to put us up in a hotel somewhere nearish. And oh my god, I cannot believe how few fish are biting. I was like, I'm getting like nothing but nibbles all the way downstream, and nothing has bitten. Okay, like I think the time has come to talk of many things, like shoes and ships, and sealing wax, and cabbages and kings. The time has come to put on a friggin' smaller hook and deal with the fact that I'm just not going to get quite as big fish, because at least I'll be getting some sort of bloody fish. I mean, I suppose if I do end up getting put up in a hotel for a day, so I guess I would just have a day to spend in a city wandering around and enjoying the city, which is no bad thing in and of itself, because I like exploring cities and stuff, but I don't know, I could very much do without it. I would much rather be exploring a city, albeit it's a city that I've been to 6 times before and know it fairly well, but that's neither here nor there. I'd much rather be spending time exploring a city in the US. The cities in the UK I can get to relatively easy at whatever convenience I would like. Cities in the US I get to explore once a year. Come on, bloody fish. It's not that big a hook, you can eat it. Is this not going to work either? Oh, no, there we go. Famous last words. That's not a big fish. That's a bass? That's a bass. That's a young largemouth bass. This is why I wanted to use the big hook. I wanted to rule out the young largemouth basses. So, what's the size to value ratio on that one? Okay. 400 grams, $50 dues. Yeah, that's alright. I'd rather have a big one. When you say stock the stream, is that a thing that they do? Do they like breed fish specifically for releasing into streams for game purposes? Is that actually like a thing? Because it took me a moment there, I was reading that, I was like, what do you mean by that? I'm not quite sure I actually follow or understand what you're saying there. I was like, oh wait, you mean like stock the stream with fish? That seems weird to be putting fish into the river just to catch them, but then I guess sport and all that, so I guess they might. Hey! Small hook for the win. Small fish for the lose. God, it's like... I will keep you, but only because your value to size ratio is actually favorable. Surprisingly more favorable than some of the fish I have caught. Oh, some lakes? Oh, okay. Alright, I think it's that time again. What's the skinny over on the Sea of Thieves Twitter? In order to resolve the blah blah, we have got 3,200 angry comments, 645 angry retweets, and 3,000 angry likes. And still no new comments, no new posts, no official whatsits. I am using a keyboard and mouse, yeah. Pretty much anything first person where I'm going to be like looking around. I want a mouse to be looking around with. That wasn't a bite. Dang it! I thought that looked like a bite. Oh, okay. Oh no, it was a bite. Just such an inconsequential, trivial bite that I just flipped the fish out of the water and basically into my hand. It was just bing. Okay, you're not in the water anymore. Gamepads for me are territory of platformers where compatible and shmups. It's a platformer and shmup kind of device, really. Other stuff can kind of be assessed on its merits, but if it's something first person, you can generally be fairly well assured I'm going to be using a keyboard and mouse. If there's something that requires some sort of degrees of analog precision, I'm probably going to want an analog stick. Platforming kind of falls into that category for sure. Shmups, definitely. I do not want to be limited to 8 axes of freedom if I'm shmupping. And also, you know, 2 speeds, go and stop. I want a bit of fine-grained control over my speed and a bit of fine-grained control over my direction if I'm doing anything like that. That's what my shiny new Sea of Thieves Xbox controller's for. Woo! So I'll be rocking the Sea of Thieves Xbox controller costume when I ever get to play this dang thing. Although I did cross my mind, it's like, hang on, that's actually probably going to be kind of a rarity exclusive kind of thing. But that's also probably dependent on how long-lived Sea of Thieves is. I've heard a few people kind of speculate that the game probably won't even be around in a month or so. Everyone will get bored and leave, probably, but I don't know. I don't know. If the game's still around years for now, those exclusive controller costumes, they're going to be worth some money. You know, it's like those old things from BlizzCon that everybody claimed and then was like, oh, shoot, hang on, if I'd hung on to these tickets that they gave me when I went to BlizzCon 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they're actually worth, like, 4 figures now. There are people who will pay 4 figures for a mount in World of Warcraft that you can't get anywhere else. Shmup, shoot 'em up, like vertical scrolling shooters, horizontally scrolling shooters. They just fly a ship around and go pew pew pew. Shmup. Shoot 'em up, shmup. There's a lot of apostrophes in there, I think. but if you hung around the channel a while or delved into any of my old videos or whatnot, it's something I do play a fair bit of. I like my shmups. I tend to use shmup over shooter because I don't know. I feel like if you say shooter, it kind of feels like there's some scope for confusion with FPS. I mean, FPS is usually FPS because it's first-person shooter, but there's a lot of people who don't play shmups. Who, if you say, "Oh yeah, I like to play shooters," people are going to assume, "Oh, are you into Call of Duty then? Oh, you play Battlefield?" And like, well, no. I play I play Rush Fusion. Do you play Rush Fusion? No. What about Beat Hazard? Beat Hazard was a good one. Beat Hazard was a great game. No. You're not classifying it in the same genre as COD, huh? Okay, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, that one's alright. I'll keep you. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like an FPS, but I don't play them particularly frequently. I play first-person stuff. Does that still count as an FPS? FPS, first-person stuff? This is a first-person stuff, but I don't think what the last first-person shooter I've played in any real shape or form is. I mean, Slime Rancher involves shooting, and it is first-person, but I definitely file Slime Rancher into first-person stuff. Hey, okay, now we're getting some bass. This is alright. Battleborn was it. Battleborn was the last FPS I played, I guess. Oh, wait, no, hang on. I played Paladins after that. Was Paladins first person or third person? That's really bad that I can't even remember that. No, Paladins was first person, wasn't it? Yeah, so okay, Paladins was the last FPS I played. I've always gravitated in FPS terms to things that are a little bit more either science fiction, like Halo. I dig Halo, and stuff that's just silly and over the top, like, as I say, Battleborn or Paladins. The whole super serial, this is war and we're the military, that kind of stuff is like, I play video games for escapism. I don't want my realism, says the man playing the astonishingly detailed fishing simulator. I am not here for realism. I don't know. In FPSs, I certainly don't tend to go for realism. I tend to go for something silly and outlandish and crazy, shooting spells and plasma and all sorts of crazy nonsense. I did play TF2 for quite a while as well, actually. Got into TF2 for a bit. Which, that's... I mean, the weapons are at least not completely insane in that. At least they didn't start out completely insane. They did add a bunch of, like, ray guns at some point, so that was a bit silly. But just the general theme of TF2 has always been completely silly, so that negates any realism it might potentially have had. Speaking of which, I need to go and check out the Team Fortress website and see if they've put out any new comics lately, because that's one of those things I tend to do. Hey, that's a good one. I like it. Oh, I'm liking this. Okay, we're on a roll here. We're on a roll. Yeah, it's once every 6 months to a year or so, I'll just be like, hey, those TF2 comics they make, I should catch up on those. And then I can never remember where I've got to on the TF2 comics, and I have to go and reread a bunch of them just to firstly refamiliarize myself with the plot and figure out whether I've read them or not. But those are good. That's the TF2 content I like these days. I haven't played the game in actually years, but yeah, the comics are great. If Valve just want to completely and utterly dedicate themselves to being a comic publication service instead, just get on board, collaborate with Marvel, DC. Let's have a Batman TF2 crossover comic. That'd be a great one. Go do that. Something insane. I'd be very down with that. Yeah, you know what? I think that's probably my issue with the sort of realistic stuff as well. It's the, I guess the technical term is the time to kill. It's the Paladins and definitely Battleborn. You have to work to score a kill on someone in that. You have to properly put some serious effort into like tracking down and getting, you know, actually murder-lating someone. If someone can just be like, haha, I was behind a rock, pew pew pew, and you're dead. It's like, oh, God, what? Oh. Or, hi, I have a sniper rifle and I'm 5 miles away. Bing! You didn't even see me. Now you're dead. Again. It's like, oh, come on. I know TF2 also has sniper rifles, and to be fair, most games have sniper rifles, but when it's silly and there are affordances for other silly stuff, you can usually flush them out with completely other mechanics. I suppose Battlefield was kind of alright in that sense, insofar as it had vehicles, and you could just be like, well, okay, screw you, sniper, I'm just going to take a helicopter instead. Try sniping my helicopter. The ones I tell you I really loved. I've probably said this a lot of times on stream, but Monday Night Combat, and successor Super Monday Night Combat, released far too soon, died far too soon, unfortunately. Tragic story, that one. Seems to be a recurring theme with all the games I'm interested in. Battleborn, Super Monday Night Combat. They all had tragic ends. They were all fantastic games, and such a shame. But yeah, Super Monday Night Combat was great, and I was pretty okay at that as well. That was... Super Monday Night Combat was faster than Monday Night Combat. Monday Night Combat, it was like... yeah, it was difficult to kill someone in that. I mean, they were going for a MOBA thing. It was kind of... They were like, yep, it's FPS MOBA. You have to... You can't just pop out and go, boom, now you're dead. It was like, okay, you're going to have to use skills and outwit your opponents and gank them and flank them and team up on them. I mean, the game's bloody slogan unofficially ended up being "Teamwork is OP," because that was the main sort of complaint from anybody who sort of wasn't used to MOBAs. Is like, oh man, teamwork's OP. It's like, that was a way you had to kill somebody. You couldn't just like run up them and run up someone 1v1 them, or you'd be dancing around them all day. You had to work with your teammates to actually kill someone. Teamwork was totally OP. With that said, I still played the Assassin, which was the stealthy, sneaky class that can, not always, but mostly one-shot people. If you can get the jump on them. It would mostly just involve hanging around in the game's answer to jungling and popping out and just being like, haha, now you're dead. Even then, actually, to be fair, you had to put like a lot of talent points into upgrading it to get to the point where you could remotely do that. Early game, you could not do that. You had to hang around in the jungle and wait for somebody who had been weakened by, surprisingly enough, one of your teammates, and pop out and ambush them and finish them off. So in that sense, it still required teamwork. Or you know, just like grapple them while they're in the middle of a firefight or something. It'd be like, haha, you didn't see me, now you're grappled, now you can't fight back, and my teammate is also hitting you with a flamethrower, so yep, between us, you're dead by the end of this animation. That's a shiner. No, it's a crappy. It's a crappy. Come on, give me a bass. We had a whole bunch of bass there. What happened to those? Those were great. It was good times with bass. And now the good times have dried up. Turns out that the bass are most active between 12:30 and 1 in the afternoon, and the rest of the day they just hibernate. They have alarm clocks. They set their schedules by it. Once it passes 1 o'clock in the afternoon, all the bass just go back upstream into a shady spot under a tree and hide until the following day. They sleep for 23.5 hours a day. That's my episode of Blue Planet. Yes, that's true. Yeah, the headshot thing. Yeah, Halo. I'm not sure all the guns necessarily made a difference, but there were a lot of guns that, yeah, you could totally get headshots, and it was you could kill people far more effectively with a headshot. I mean, I think it totally does count in other FPSs, right? But like, yeah, as you say, far less so. If you can kill someone in like 4 or 5 bullets anyway, why bother with the cranium? The rest of it's a bigger target. But then at the same time, I suppose, I mean, again, they're kind of going for realism. You're gonna hole up fighting terrorists in the Middle East or whatever. The likelihood is that you're not going to be trying to pick them all off with, you know, precision accurate shots, trying to take them out one headshot at a time, because the head is a very small target. If you can just put a few bullets in the sort of the chestal region and stop them fairly comfortably that way, it's probably an easier way to do it. I had an interesting couple of years where the modern military FPS genre decided to go sci-fi, but that was disappointingly short-lived. I could have gone with more sci-fi. Not that I played any of the sci-fi CODs or anything, which is probably why they didn't make more of them, because nobody bought them. Because I guess people did buy them because they kept making them, but it didn't bring people like me into playing them. So they were like, well, we need to try something new. What else is there to do that we haven't explored? Okay, no, there's nothing to do that we haven't explored. Let's just go back to the World Wars. I quite like the theory that we were just going to see basically sort of a FPS cycle that's just going to be like, okay, we start in World War, we slowly go through the eras and do modern military, and then we go into slightly futuristic military, and then we go into sci-fi, and then once we've reasonably pushed sci-fi for a few years, just reset the whole process and back to the World War I or World War II. In this instance, I guess it totally was World War I. For all the accuracy that was supposed to be. Didn't sound like it was very good, but it's not my thing anyway. It's not my cup of tea. Kinda want to try and get a bigger fish. Kinda. I know it won't work, but I do. I want to try. I'm sick of all these little fish. I want the good ones. Where's all the good ones at? Small cut bay. I can't catch a bass with that. I can try with a shiner. I did try with the 5/0 hook for quite a while and got nothing, so I think 3 is as far as we comfortably want to push it. See how this goes. And while we're doing it, we'll check the Sea of Thieves one more time. Currently standing at, let's see, 3,800 angry comments, 737 angry retweets, and 3,500 angry likes. And still nothing new on the subject. Yeah, if I can get myself a reasonably large fish, I might just wrap things up, just on the basis that even if they let players play Sea of Thieves once again, it's going to be far too late to do a stream. We're only going to get like half an hour, and then I'm going to have to go anyway. What will be the point of that? We won't get past the character customization. I think the character customization is quite simple in it, to be honest, but yeah. Come on, just one good bass. Give me one really good bass, and I will be a happy man. There's just straight up nothing even nibbling now. Not a popular bait. What else do bass eat? Nothing that I've got on me, I don't think. And I'm certain at level 3 nothing I can buy in the store. Are there different regions, environments to fish in? Yeah. I mean... Alright, hang on. I mean, there's a bunch of different fishing spots on each river stroke lake individually. You got a couple more spots downstream there. I keep pressing M to bring up the map. That doesn't do that anymore. We've got that. That's a thing. So yeah, we can go to different locations, but there are totally other areas. Very difficult to show you from here because I cannot show you the world map without like straight up leaving the river. There are, let's see, if we go to licenses, there you go. There's a list of all the places. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 12 different lakes and or rivers in the world. And they're all different. Alaska's obviously going to get some ice and snow and cold and wonderful stuff. Your Florida Everglades are going to be very different to Rocky Mountains. Going to be different to your Missouri stream that we're at the minute. The lakes of New York. They all got different fish going on. They all got different styles and themes, and some you can take a boat out on. All things considered, I think you can. That's going to annoy me forever now. I keep pressing M. There is a boat parked up over here. I'm not actually sure you can take it. Can you take this? No, this one's just for decoration. Damn it. What about this one? Yep. Some of them have these parked up by the side of the river, but you can press E to get in, and well, for a cost, it'll say, like, would you like to hire a boat for a day for only $950? Which is a little excessive, but not completely and utterly unreasonable. Most of the fish that you will be able to get by taking a boat out, you could get still without taking a boat out, so you don't really need to, but makes the experience a bit more dynamic, a bit more interesting. Oh, you met Tulkas. Hi, okay. Yeah, Tulkas is Tulkas. Tulkas is very difficult to explain to anybody who's not met Tulkas. If you come back and watch the stream that I'll be doing with him tomorrow night, you'll meet Tulkas and begin to understand the Tulkas soon. He's an acquired taste, he's an odd fellow, but he steams a good ham. I want to check the Discord now. Yep, that's Tulkas. He's eccentric, is a favorable way of describing him, I think. We used to play on the same Minecraft server together when we did Minecraft. Technically, he still does do Minecraft, but different Minecraft now. We play Worlds Adrift together. We have done other small bits and pieces together in the past as well. There is a theory that one day we're going to live stream the entirety of the wonderfully awful looking 10 Labors of Hercules. Or is it 12 Labors? I don't know. There's a series of 4 video games about the Labors of Hercules, and they all look terrible. It seems to revolve predominantly around cheese, so we call it Hercu Cheese, and one day me and Tulkas will probably at some point stream a lot of Hercu Cheese. I don't know what the best way to handle Tulkas is. If I knew, I would excuse me. If I knew, I would do it myself, but you're just gonna have to go along for the ride with Tulkas. This is not happening, is it? I'm not catching diddly squat. Can we just try a little closer to this? Maybe the big fish lurk in the weeds. Nope. The tackle gets snagged in the weeds. That's what happens. Well, that's not going anywhere. So let me try and summarize the Tulk, the incredible Tulk. Patriotic to a fault, a lover of singing and or music, history nerd, really likes Minecraft and Hearthstone, and also any historically accurate games. And tends to get hung up and kind of obsessive about things. I mean, he is. I mean, I wouldn't take anything of his negatively. He is utterly harmless, but just small doses. Small doses. There are no fish in the river. I've caught them all. Oh, there was something there? Oh, quick, get back there. There was something there. I hope that's how that works. I hope that if you pull the bait too far away, you can just be like, wait, no, undo. I want to go back to this place. And that I'm not just going to scare the fish off completely. There are some whispers of movement there that make me think maybe there's something down there, but I don't know. Could just be weeds as well. The motion of the ocean. He said I like nuts and bolts. I don't know. He says a lot of things, and I don't necessarily always listen to him. I gotta be honest, I not infrequently do tend to tune him out when he just goes off on I don't even know what, just so I can just like, I'll just be like, I'll find something to busy myself with in the game and he can just talk for a quarter of an hour straight, and I won't concern myself with whatever it is. I'll just be like, I'm building a ship, you do you. Oh, Banjo-Kazooie, oh right, Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, yeah. I don't know when that conversation would have taken place, but that is true. I do like Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. I am the only person on this planet who did like Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. Which is weird because years later there are a bunch of indie games that totally cloned the ever-loving bejesus out of Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, and they all did really, really well. Everybody absolutely loved them and adored them and were like, yes, give us more of this. When Banjo-Kazooie did it, everyone was like, boo, this game sucks. I think just on the basis that it wasn't Banjo-Kazooie, but when assessed on its own merits, it was a very solid, technically competent game. Had a lot of interesting challenges to do with building cool vehicles and stuff. If you took it at that, if you weren't expecting the cutesy, fun duo platformer thing, as long as you didn't go into it expecting Banjo 3, it's fine. It's a very good game. If you were expecting Banjo 3, yeah, okay. And I guess a lot of people were, yeah, be disappointed. But that's why you should read the reviews before you buy the bloody game. There are a lot of people who could have been like, yes, this is a very good game, but if you're coming into it wanting a third Banjo-Kazooie, you ain't gonna get it. Personally, I didn't read the reviews myself, but I'm willing to bet that's what they would all have said. It just so happens that I went into it expecting Banjo-Kazooie and didn't get it, but I got something totally else that was actually really good in and of itself. Then along comes Robocraft et al. And cashes in on a formula that should have been successful years beforehand. I think the biggest disappointment for Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is simply the fact that it just didn't have a multiplayer because everybody hated it. Like it was pretty hard to find anybody to do anything with. And it's a shame because again it was like lots of interesting challenges. Like, okay, here's a racetrack or a plane racetrack. Great, there's a flying course with rings and things to fly through, and you need to build a plane that will go through all of this. It's like, oh great, okay, good, fantastic. You're going to navigate all these obstacles and things with a thing that you built, and they've got to do it using a thing that they've built, and that's such a good concept. What 'twas not to be. Alright, now you've got it in a freemium format where they can nickel and dime you with all the microtransactions. Oh, do you want a cube to make your car a little bit bigger? That'll be $1, please. Oh, that guy beat you? That's because he bought the Ultra Cube. You should have paid money for the better cubes. No thanks. In all fairness, I've not played them. They might not be that bad, but a casual glance, I can see a lot of just on the surface, I can see a lot of microtransactions of that nature, and the little bits I have seen of people playing it. There was some streamer got paid a bunch of money to do it when Robocraft specifically, I'm talking about at this point, when that launched. They were like, oh yeah, when you start out in the game, you'll be earning these pieces, but the developers have given us all of these pieces for free. I was like, oh, right, so I guess you either have to grind forever or pay money to buy it otherwise. If they're just like, here's some DLC because you're such a wonderful streamer. I say that as though the Fishing Planet devs didn't give me a friggin' DLC pack for this game, but it's neither here nor there. It's expired already anyway. It was just a bunch of premium time and a few bits of equipment I already pretty much had. bite, you a-hole fish. Knew it was going to be a mistake to upgrade to the 3-aught. Shouldn't have done that. Something was interested. Well, we knew that. Wasn't biting though, was it? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not like inherently opposed to the concept of microtransactions as a thing, but there are a squillion and one ways to do them wrong, and they are frequently done wrong. I don't particularly, all things considered, think Fishing Planet does them well. The problem is, it's very. I mean, if you do try to be like, oh, we want to be fair to the player, it's very, very easy to stray quite comfortably the other direction into the. I never want to spend any money on this game at all. The example at this point in time I keep citing in that category is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which has microtransactions, but I have never ever once felt the need to pay for a single one of them. There's no bit of premium content in that game that can't be earned reasonably comfortably without spending any money at all. You know, I would actually probably suggest that of all the things on the market that I'm aware of at this moment in time that has the most reasonable microtransaction system, it might be Pokemon Go. I have spent a bit of money on that game. I know a lot of people who have spent a bit of money on that game, and I know a bunch of hardcore players who regularly spend some money on the game. And then there are, like, your... What's his name? Brandon Tan, who does like 50 raids a day, who must be dropping... He must be dropping quite a lot of money on the game, honestly. If you consider that to do a raid in the game gives you one a day for free anyway. But beyond that point, you can buy them in bulk on some occasions for discounts, but broadly, by and large, doing a raid in this game in Pokemon Go costs about $1. I think $1 in US currency is about 80 pence in British money. So if you got a guy who's doing 50 of those a day, he's spending $50 a day at least on doing those. And if he's doing 50 a day, he cannot be buying them all in bulk either anyway, because, well, he's not gonna have. I mean, I guess he could just stock the frig up, but still. He would go through them very fast. And he'd still be spending a lot of money. I know a few people are like, oh yeah, I spend like 10, 15 quid fairly frequently on it, and those guys are fairly hardcore, but I don't know, for the overwhelming majority of the population, spending a little bit of money now and then is a perfectly reasonable way to play Pokemon Go. I think that's genuinely microtransactions done all right. I think I've spent total on that game about £15. And some of that was literally just putting money on buying a Team Rocket outfit because they introduced the Team Rocket outfit, and I wasn't going to not wear that. It's a friggin' Team Rocket outfit. It was weird that my philosophy of, hey, I want to look really cool, is massively at odds with how everybody else I know plays the game. Nobody else gives a flying damn about cosmetics. Everyone's like, yes, I just want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, etc. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to look good while I'm doing it. I mean, I get the sentiment, but if I can do that and look like Team Rocket at the same time, no appeal there. No, that not work for you. I was like, nah, don't want to buy that. It's like, all right, it's just me looking friggin' awesome then. Fine, suit yourselves. I mean, I've said time and time again, they really do need to add more cosmetics to the game, but I don't know. There's maybe there just isn't a demand for it. They did release. They released like a costume from Fire Red and Leaf Green shortly after the Team Rocket stuff, and I looked on the official Twitter account for it, and it was just nothing but people complaining that the costumes hadn't been given to them for free. And was like, oh, you should have included these costumes for free. You don't want them, don't you? It's like, I mean, if you want them and if they're worth it to you, buy them. It's not expensive. If they're not worth it, don't buy them. It's fine. I mean, it just, I don't know. If everybody has it, it's not special. If everybody's special, nobody is. It's that kind of deal. If everybody's got the really cool, awesome costume, well, it's not really cool and awesome anymore, is it? If I'm the only person in town dressed like Team Rocket and I rock up to the raid, like, with a big red R on the front and the beret and everything, it's like, oh man, this is cool, this is cool. If literally everybody turns up dressed exactly the same as me, what the heck did I spend my money on? But the only way they would all rock up the same as me is if no one had to spend any money on it, so, man. I like throwing a few pounds at a game in order to look really cool. That's all there is on that one. And then I have spent money to, like, actually buy resources and stuff that I need. I'm like, okay, well, if I spend some money, I can actually buy some stuff to make my character better and actually make it a little easier to play and just conveniences and whatnot. But I've never felt like the need to buy loads. Honestly, I don't know whether people find the time to do like 50 raids a day. I get that most people don't do 50 raids a day. It's just like that one guy does 50 raids a day. And at that point, I'm pretty certain it's his job. I think it's actually his job to play the game. I think he has made a career out of doing 50 Pokemon Go raids a day. Either that, or he must just be independently wealthy. He must just come from a rich family, and he's like, yes, I don't need a job, I don't need to take over the family business. My family's vast fortune allows me to simply sit and play Pokemon Go for 16 hours a day. Woo! That's okay. That's okay. Right. Well, we've had a few good rants about things there. And it's now gone 11:30, and Sea of Thieves still hasn't updated. Well, I don't know they would update, but they've not provided an update to the information. Now at 4.6 thousand angry comments. Yeah, I think I might wrap that up there. Thanks for joining me though. Been a good little chat, good little hangouts, bit of fun. People have met Tulkas, and that's always an enlightening experience for people. How much do I have in my actual bag here then? Like, what's that? Inventory. What are we up to? 1,300. Okay, so I'm in all fairness, I'm still about $900 worth of fish short of being able to pay for this trip. But I got time. I got all tomorrow to maybe look at working on that or something. Who knows? All I know is that were Sea of Thieves to come out and say, yep, you're allowed to play the game right now, I could give you maybe 20 minutes of content before I'd be like, you know what, it's gone midnight now, sorry, see you later. So with that in mind, Worlds Adrift is happening tomorrow. For folks who want more Tulkas in their lives, Tulkas will be around streaming with me on this channel tomorrow from probably just before 8 PM. The event in-game starts at 8 PM Universal Time, GMT, both the same at this point in time, but UK time. And that means we probably need to start streaming that quarter of an hour to half an hour before that, just to make sure that we're all situated and good to go and ready, and get there on time for the fancy parade. Woo! And then the world will end. Should probably have 6 pints of beer, it cushions the blow. So saith Ford Prefect. And then that's that. I guess I'll try Sea of Thieves on Thursday. I think things should have quietened down by then. Thursday night stream should actually hopefully be Sea of Thieves this time. So Right, thank you for joining me. My voice has actually gone kind of sore now, so I'm going to go rest that and have a cup of tea or something and chill out for a little bit. But thank you for being here, thank you for watching, thank you for enjoying the fish with me, and thanks to everybody who met Tulkas. I hope your lives are richer for it. I'll hopefully see you all tomorrow. Night.